Hello friends, this is Devjani Bhattacharya. Today I have come here to raise a few relevant questions to my fellow countrymen. Yesterday, Madras High Court has observed Election Commission responsible for the COVID second wave. It is our constitutional prerogative to respect the judiciary and their observations. And so we do that. However, respecting the judiciary doesn't stop us from raising relevant questions very humbly. Not only Madras High Court, in fact, after the observation of Madras High Court, certain doctors of Kolkata also are holding Election Commission responsible for the COVID second wave. Here, my first question to my fellow countrymen is that didn't we know that COVID second wave was coming everywhere? After the first wave, the second wave has also hit the country. So we also knew that a second wave would come, and that is why from the governmental level continuously they made us aware and conscious. 2 गज की दूरी, mask जरूरी, then जब तक दवाई नहीं तब तक ढिलाई नहीं, and after that दवाई भी और कड़ाई भी. So all these awareness campaigns went on. So we were aware that COVID second wave was about to come. In spite of that, Election Commission is being held responsible. Why so? This is my first question. I will raise the second question to my fellow countrymen is that if Election Commission can be held responsible for COVID second wave, why can't the media also be held responsible for the same? I know some of you will find this question very queer and some of you would laugh at me, especially those who tag them as liberals. I would definitely explain my question and try to make it appear scientifically viable. Why should media be held responsible for COVID second wave? Especially when Madras High Court has already created a precedence of holding Election Commission responsible for conducting elections, which is their constitutional responsibility. Since court has created precedence of holding them responsible, so why media can't be questioned? Why am I saying this? What does come to our mind? What do we recall first when we hear COVID second wave in India? What does come to your mind? It comes to our mind oxygen shortage. Whenever we hear COVID second surge, we think of oxygen crisis. Now think, a set of patients who are suffering from COVID, of which breathlessness is a common symptom. The disease attacks the lung. When such set of patients get to hear, when such set of patients be bombarded with news that oxygen is, there's scarcity of oxygen, there's dire shortage of oxygen, what happens to this set of patients? Don't they feel more anxious? And isn't breathlessness one of the very common manifestations of anxiety? So if a person who is suffering from COVID, who is there in home isolation, undergoing treatment, won't he or she fall even sicker listening to these such news? So when media created hype of oxygen shortage, why didn't they consider that may aggravate the condition of many patients? Why shouldn't we experimentally evaluate how many patients rushed to the hospital gasping for oxygen out of fear and anxiety, and how many of them genuinely suffered from the same due to COVID? Do we have such infrastructure to evaluate? We do not have. But in spite of that, media became enough irresponsible to behave in this manner. And when you hear oxygen shortage, which place comes to our mind? It is Delhi and Delhi only. We are not getting news of oxygen shortage from any other place, but only from Delhi. Because of only Delhi, when the people, the patients all over India are being suffering, why shouldn't media be responsible for that? This is my second question, and I think court should take suo motu cognizance of this particular type of reporting. Why are reputed journalists taking photographs of crematoriums and tweeting those? How does she know how many of the bodies are burning there due to COVID death and how many are non-COVID deaths? In spite of not knowing such data, why are media packaging death and dreadfulness and decorating such informations to present them to people to scare them? What percentage of COVID second wave is due to such media people? Don't we need to know that? Shouldn't court take suo motu cognizance against media in general? And shouldn't we find out which are the journalists who took leading role to report of oxygen shortage, and which particular chief minister created maximum hype about it? This is the question that I wanted to ask to my fellow countrymen. I hope they will give due importance to my questions. Thank you very much.